Hey everyone, my name's Sam. I'm 26 days post-op from Cauda equina syndrome. Just sort of thought I'd decide to start doing a little bit of a vlog in regards to it. So today, well, I count my lucky stars because today, I can actually use my bowel, my bladder, stand, walk like a penguin though at the moment still. Obviously that's a learning curve sort of situation. I doing some little bit of exercises myself, so I stand up on my toes on one side and left side and right side. But I do notice that the left side, on right side I can get up on my toes. My left side I get about 10, 15, 20 mil off the ground. So there's a lot of weakness in that side. So I sort of decided to go to the swimming pool, me and my wife, and try to do some walking exercises to try and strengthen that all up. But it's been a bit of a ride, to be honest with you. It happened on Easter Friday, so Good Friday, the 7th of April. Well, that was my surgery, sorry. Actually, it happened on the 6th of April. I was cleaning up my house at night, decided to lay down on the ground, stretch my back out, and then literally hopping up off the floor because I already had a bad back, right? I had a bad back. 2009 is when I broke my spine, and I've had constant issues from there. I did need a spinal fusion, never got approved for the surgery, so that's a whole nother story. But yeah, 2009 always had issues, complications. And then, yeah, on the 6th of April 2023, I laying on the ground after cleaning my house, doing a bit of dishes. Went to stand up and literally bang, my back completely went gone because I was already experiencing a lot of pain, sciatica sort of thing like that. My back blew into my spinal canal. Obviously hit the Cauda equinas, which is the horsetail. I remember thinking to myself, I was numb, I couldn't pee. And I thought to myself, I was just like, oh, maybe just because I've been lying on the hard floor, I've cut off my circulation. So I was like, I'll stuff it, I'll sleep. I couldn't roll properly that night. Wife was helping me out, roll over, I was screaming in pain. Got to my side of the bed, which is perfect. Went to sleep. Obviously, I drove myself up a bit, you know what I mean, with all obviously the painkillers and stuff like that. Went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, and the first words I said to my wife was, "Hey, babe, it's actually worse." All the way up both my legs, I couldn't feel anything. Still couldn't pee. Didn't have the urge to pee. Didn't when you usually wake up in the morning and you got that urge to pee, I couldn't have that urge at all. And yeah, my wife were just testing out some things, and she literally pulled the hairs on the back of my legs on my left leg, and I just sat there and couldn't feel nothing. So that was a different experience. Then yeah, rushed into hospital. The silly thing is, the ambulance people, the first thing they said to me was, "Oh, this is the perfect symptoms that we look for in every person that has a back problems." Then what they asked me to do, they asked me to roll because I weighed too much. I weigh 103 kilos. I was excited because I was like, oh, I used to weigh 117. Then they decided not to complain, or they decided to complain. And then so I took it upon me. I had the green whistle and just started huffing on that and screamed out loud and rolled myself over. Then they asked me to sit on the stretcher thing, the seat thing, whatever it's called, and by then I can't remember anything. They pumped me full of fentanyl, and I was just gone with it. So I moved myself, and I thought me and my wife were talking about it and was saying it's pretty bad for someone of obviously medical side of things to say to someone who's got a spinal injury to say, hey, can you move? Anywho, went into hospital, had emergency surgery. I got into hospital, did an MRI. I struggled to hold still. They stopped MRI all the time and said, Sam, you need to stay still. We can't see you. You keep moving. And I was in so much pain, so I couldn't stay still. So all I did was I remember just holding my breath just holding my breath and going, I need to stay still, I need to stay still. Anyway, they successfully got a good picture, and then within 10 minutes of me getting back to my ward, the doctor came in and said, yep, you've got a symptom called Cauda equina, and obviously that's where the numbness had come from, the partial paralysis side of things, no pee. So they got a catheter inside me. I couldn't even feel the catheter going in, nothing at all. The nurse actually said to my wife that first word she said was, it's pretty bad that, because the numbing gel they use doesn't work that well. And I was just sitting there like nothing on earth, I was like, meh, whatever. So anyway, they did all that, went through to surgery about 8 o'clock at night, and then I was out fully awake. Well, I was out within an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then I was fully awake about 1:30ish in the morning, I believe. Then I spent 7 days in hospital. First few days still numb, fuzzy feelings. I think it was day 3 I peed on my own, I believe. Day 3 I peed on my own, it felt weird because like what happened is you think about it, and then obviously the brain has to find another way to get through to that nerve, and it felt like little muscles that I've never used before actually opening up, and it felt like one of the weirdest feelings in the world. Like, it was quite amazing. And then I went bowel movement, I think day 5 I think it was, something like that. So, which is awesome, obviously I'm at home, but 26 days past now, you know what I mean? Obviously, what happens when I left the hospital, bear in mind I live in New Zealand, so left the hospital, literally as soon as I got out the door, that was it. No contact from ACC, no contact from the hospital. I call my specialist, he tells me I have to contact the hospital and ACC. So I call the hospital, I call ACC, and they're just jumping around, not telling me what the fuck I need to do. So I am currently waiting to hear news about, obviously, weekly compensation. 26 days later, I'm still waiting to see if I will get paid from ACC, which is a load of crap. We pay all these things in our taxes, and that's why we get good healthcare over here in New Zealand. But, you pay all these things, and it makes you not want to pay them when they dick around like this, you know what I mean? But anyway, another story. As time went on, things have been going up and down, changing, stuff like that. Numbness in my feet, constant every day. My toes, right side of my right foot, left side of my left foot, all the way up to my heel, up the back of my leg on both legs, and up the front of both legs as well. When I stand in the wind or random feelings come through, it's like, the easiest way for me to explain it is saying that, like, it's like getting a bag of rice and pouring a bag of rice down over your legs. And that's the feeling it goes for. So that's what sort of really happens. Obviously my rear end is still numb, but I'm doing bowel movements, so that's all good. My manlyhood, that's on and off. That sometimes feels fuzzy, sometimes not. Can get erections, no issues, which I'm very, very stoked with that. I count my lucky stars that obviously 16 hours from calling 111 to operation sounds like a long time, but in the big scheme of things, it's actually pretty fast. For me to have movement of my feet, walking, I walk like a penguin, as I said. Obviously it is a hard road that you go down. I've been into some mental sort of issues. I'm still a happy guy, but you do go down that little path, and we all understand. And, you have the people around you to support you, and you do get out of it. You know what I mean? So, if you are going through CES and you do go down those dark holes, just remember you're not alone. So we do go down there. But yeah, day 26. Still numb on my feet, legs, bum. Manly herd changes every day. Yeah, in a good space of mind. You know what I mean? Just trying to get through it. The other thing that is annoying to me is the fact about my pay. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening with me, you know. Living life every day. Very, very grateful to have my wife and my 2 kids. I've got 2 young kids, 6-year-old and a 7-year-old, so very, very lucky to have them. Yeah, amazing wife, amazing kids. I love them all to death, you know, and I'm just so glad and grateful to be able to walk, you know, and yeah, I just wanted to share my story and let it all out there know how I'm feeling today and what's sort of happening, you know, and my running with all of it, you know, like the pain. Oh my God, that pain that went into my spinal canal. Soon as it happened, like, yeah, it's next level. You can't explain that pain. Obviously, my wife's been doing a bit of studying and stuff, and one of the ladies on one of the CES groups she's been talking with explained it as being in the later stages of giving birth. So not the end stage, but the later stages. So
before the ring of fire.
Before she just said before the ring of fire. So that's pretty cool to. I guess you ladies out there, if you have given birth, you sort of know. Well, that's the pain. That's what my wife Haley told me. So, yeah.